Hello and welcome to top of the morning to you. Let's jump right into it. Hello, I haven't done a video in a while. I've been very busy, which is pretty much the beginning of every video I've done in the last few videos anyway. I've been working a lot, but also put into full swing the video I did a while ago. Alright guys, let's try that again. The video I did a while ago about Andy and Nuke's Maker Chief. Yeah, I've put that into full swing, so I've been very busy trying to organise that and working and playing a lot of Halo. Not a lot of time for videos, unfortunately guys, I do apologise. Now I wanted to talk today about The Predator, the Shane Black film that pretty much just came out and I saw yesterday. And pretty much the narrative goes, every single time I do something like this and I review a film or something, it almost inevitably turns into me defending a film nobody likes. Now, in the case of The Predator, it's getting universally, critically at least, panned. I don't know what the general audience thoughts on it are, but I personally thought it was good. It was a good film. I don't care for your critique, as it were, because the general critique is coming from critics that maybe weren't necessarily fans of the original, so they wouldn't have paid much attention to any of the other previous Predator films. Obviously the film makes reference to Alien vs Predator, but not really. It doesn't strike me as being a part of that thing, but it is very much in keeping with the tone and sort of the chronological order, timeline or whatever. It's in the universe of the other two Predators. It's that much is obvious. They make reference to the other times that it was in. One of my favourite little Easter eggs comes in the form of Gary Busey's son, I forget his first name, playing the son of the character in Predator 2.
Oh my.
I really wanted him to say oh my, but he didn't. But that's fine, you know, because I mean there was moments in it that are bad. I mean, you know, by no stretch of the imagination, no one wanted to hear a character that wasn't Arnie out of context say get to the chopper. And one of the guys goes get to the choppers, referring to some motorcycles. And that made me cringe. But it's not a movie breaking thing. Everybody, you know, I do cringe a lot at stuff that like that. Because it was horrible basically, but the overall story, the overarching story is about as fresh as you can get in a film of this this genre. You know, when you're staying in the same universe as the other two Predator films as for definite. The third one is fine, it can stand alone because it's literally on a different planet, so that's one thing that can go where it wants. I think as far as the story goes though, it's a good fun romp. You go from the beginning to the end and you can enjoy it. You can enjoy yourself in this film. I've heard criticism that it feels chopped up and flung together. I'll be honest, I did feel like it maybe had a rewrite somewhere in there that resulted in a shift in the direction of the film. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I tried my best not to pay too much attention to the sort of what always happens with these films is the internet rumour mill that goes. The only thing I did see was a picture of all the main cast of characters and a Predator in a tank or an APC together, sort of buddying up, and obviously that didn't happen in the film. And the only other thing I know is that there are test screenings that people didn't like certain aspects of the story, so they changed that and they did reshoots or whatever. Don't care. I enjoyed the final product. is what I'm saying. The first film obviously was a bit of a suspenseful film. Started out like an Arnie action movie, ended up in a suspense area, and then finished up with, you know, a sort of well, the machoist version of a horror movie you can think of. So it's sort of an action thriller horror thing. And the second film seemed like they were going for a thrill ride. Like they as soon as that film starts, it's like action. There's gunfights. There's the predator attacks people straight away. I sort of felt like this one was a mix between all of the first three, really, because all right. There's probably three things. Let's go from there. Like, that's how I'm going to structure this from here on. Three things that I didn't like. Number one, I've already mentioned the get to the choppers thing, and the, you know, that sort of lazy fan service that I don't like. It's like, oh, he said the thing. Yeah. Number two, spoiler alert, and I mean that seriously. If you haven't seen the film, please either turn the video off or skip ahead to this moment. The predator dogs, I didn't like them. I liked the idea of them. It served as a sort of light yet creepy thing in the film. You know, it helps out a bit, but the design, dreadlocks on a dog. It looked like a boxer dog with dreadlocks and scales instead of fur. And that's like, it's like just such a stupid idea that, like, you know, oh yeah, because our dogs have hair and pink skin. So if you put a wig on a pig, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just didn't like it. Okay, number three, the third thing, what was it? It started, and I mean in the first 30 seconds of the film, I didn't like. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that it starts with a light space battle. It just happens. There's a bit of a tiff in the predator world, which is what causes one of the predators to end up on our planet, and the story goes from there. I feel like it would have been much better to have started possibly a minute into the film where you see the main protagonist character crawling through the bushes, and he's a sniper, so he's like looking at his target. It looks like he's trying to free some hostages, or at least take out the captors of the hostages, and then it goes from there. Like the ship goes straight over his head, and we're in. The story starts. The whole film starts. So it's not a slow burner either. So yeah, I feel like we just didn't need that first bit. It didn't serve any purpose. But three things are not going to destroy a film for me. It didn't suspend my disbelief, except for the dog, which was the middle one, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. That was literally the only thing that took me out of the film, was the fucking dog. I'm trying to remember, because I've done this twice now. I've heard critique about them not getting to know the characters, and that the female protagonist didn't serve any purpose. Now, the characters, you get to know all of them. I'm not going to go into it because it goes into spoiler territory, but the female character, the stuff she does is really important to the film. She obviously provides the exposition, but she's also important to getting the first part of the movie going. We follow her into the, well, I would say that, sorry, no, she's integral to getting the midway point started. So the end of Act 1, she comes in and she gets Act 2 moving, which is the middle of the film. That is why she's there, and you could quite literally have left her in that part of the film, and the film would still have functioned. It maybe wouldn't have been as good, because once you have her there and you get familiar with her, she ends up linking up with the rest of the protagonists, the loonies as they call themselves, and then she not only provides them some much needed backstory as to what they're doing and why they're there and all the rest of it, but then she she also kicks some serious ass in this film. I won't spoil it for you, but she's responsible for one of the final blows at the end of the film as well, which that's it. That's all you're getting. To say that she didn't really serve a purpose except for exposition was you basically missed part of the movie there. Anywho, the protagonist, the main guy in it, is the fellow out of Logan. He's the guy with the robot hand or full arm, I can't remember. I remember hating him in that, but that just means that he did a really good job, because that was the whole point. He was supposed to be the bad guy, so he was all equally good in this. He makes you do sort of like him. In particular, because like the last protagonist we got was Adrian Brody, who I to this day will say he did a really good job, but he just didn't really have much character to work with, so therefore he didn't really do much in the way of anything, shooting at stuff and telling people stuff that they probably should already know. No, this guy was good. I liked what he had to say, I liked what he did, and he was just a good character, and the film was all the better for him. I think if they had a different actor in that role, it may not have grabbed my attention quite as much as it did. With him, and the cast of characters were really good, but they served their purpose as background characters. None of them really stuck out in the way that the groups that the ensembles that they'd put together in the first two films stuck out. Basically, the whole film is getting a lot of crap off critics, and I fear people really listen to these people who are paid to be overly negative about everything. I mean, obviously, I'm the guy that sat here and defended Alien 3 and Batman vs Superman, but that's just my opinion, and so is this to a degree. But this is a better film, from say a professional view over it, as well as me being a nerdy fanboy of all these things. It's a better film than what it's being made out to be by critics and other people that are like me, amateurs with voices. It's worth watching. It's worth your £10 to go see it in the cinema. It is a fun film. I feel like it should have come out earlier in the year. It would have been a really fun summer movie. But having said that, it's a film that you will enjoy in the cinema. I came out of watching that film thinking straight away. I googled when the Blu-ray release was supposed to be. I'm gonna buy it. I hope there's a decent sort of making of on there and some good stuff. And what can I say? I'm not expecting much from this one. Anywho, with all that being said, this is going to be a bitch to edit because I've had to do it twice because the computer turned off behind me, which ruined the sound, which is marvellous. I know I've been absent. I will be back fairly soon. What I've been working on is quite a difficult thing because, as I may have already mentioned, I can't remember or not, that I've been working on Harley and Nuke's make a chief that wasn't just a little silly pie in the sky update video. I've been really working hard on that. I've got several things in the works with different people around the country, making that a reality. Also, there's so much weird stuff that's happened to me as a result, so I'm trying to I'm in the process of filming a lot of it, and then I'm just going to try and put all the footage together and go how the hell do I make this into a video? It's probably going to be a long one, or I might make it a little series. I haven't decided, but anyhow, this is not an update video, this is a Predator review. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, and if you disagree with me for any reason, please let me know how, and I don't mind, because I'll probably ignore it. No, in all seriousness, let's have a conversation about it, because the fact is that, especially when people are trying to be professional critics, the thing is to go for the negative straight away, hit the jugular, and it gets you clicks, it gets you views, it gets you read, it gets you as the reviewer more people listening to you. They might not necessarily believe the words they're saying, but it will. It's being done to get people to click on it. You know, that's what's important. Those clicks. You know, those things I don't get. But anyway, I'm not trying to take people down while I'm doing it. It's just it's me acknowledging the reality of the situation. That is why these people do it, and you should definitely go and see this film and make your own mind up on it, because it is definitely worth the money to find out for yourself. And also, I really do suggest that you re-familiarise yourself with the way these films played out before you go and see the new one, because then you'll realise you realise where it's supposed to be. It's not trying to fit itself in with Iron Man and Infinity War and Black Panther and Justice League and whatever else. You know, it's not trying to be the films that we're all becoming a bit more accustomed to watching. It is what it is, and that's a Predator sequel. But yeah, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that crap with the bell and all that shit. Call to action! Woo! Yeah, I know I'm a dick.
Lions, the tigers, the